Several candidates are vying for California Congressman Duncan Hunter's seat, including retired Navy SEAL Larry Wilske. One America's Jack Posobiec sat down with Wilske to learn more.
Very excited to welcome here One American News Larry Wilske, who's a former United States Navy SEAL. He's running for Congress in California 50. Larry, thank you so much for being on with us.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
So tell me, what made you want to run for Congress?
It's simple, and it's not a big elaborate answer. It's continued service to country. I love my country. I can't be a SEAL anymore. I hit my 30 years. I'm out, and I was a little too broken up to continue that job. So this is, I believe I have the capacity, so it's an obligation to continue to serve my country.
Now, obviously, it's a competitive district. What is your strategy moving forward to win this election?
We stay with the grassroots, ground game, and meeting people and getting out on the streets every day, calling as many people as I possibly can. I mean, for instance, last week we gave out 10,000 flyers at different grocery stores. So we're really busy trying to meet people and give them an alternative, and that's what this is all about, is an alternative.
Now, your campaign sent us some information regarding donations and fundraising. How has that been since you've announced?
Well, we've had 4 months of fundraising. In the last quarter, I'm ecstatic to say that last quarter we raised $270,000. We've got almost $400,000 total. But the real number that's important here is we've got over 6,500 new donors. These are people giving $30, $40 a piece because they care. It's not big money people, big influential people. This is just folks trying to make a difference, and that really strikes the heartstrings.
Understood. Tell me, what do you think the top 3 issues facing America as a country would be right now?
Well, I tell you what I'd like to do is whittle that down to the top 3 issues in our district, because I've asked about 1,000 people what that is, and they've given me their top 10. The first one, interestingly enough, is the Second Amendment, followed by veterans' rights, and then the one that's really interesting, because it crosses over Democrats and Republicans alike, is term limits. 89% of the Republicans and 80% of the Democrats in the district believe that we should have term limits for people in Congress. And I completely agree. It shouldn't be a career path.
What would you be able to bring to the table in terms of serving our veterans, folks who have served, that have gotten out, that are coming back from a lot of deployments, a lot of engagement overseas, a lot of wars overseas right now? What would your commitment to them?
Well, my commitment's 100% because I'm one of them. And when I got out of the military, I had the option to use the TRICARE system, as all retirees do. At the time in 2013, the VA was a disaster. So I picked the VA. If it's going to be a problem, get next to it. And that, as a disabled vet, that's where I get all of my medical care. So I get to see a lot of the problems at the VA. It's not a lack of good people. It's a lack of a customer service culture, and that compounds in a lot of different directions. But knowing those problem sets and dialing it directly with the VA is really where I want to go.
In terms of foreign policy, what do you see as the role of the U.S. military?
The U.S. military is our best last resort. I mean, I think war should be very seldom and devastating. We've got all of these elements of national power that we can utilize against any threat or any problem set, starting with diplomacy, and we should start with diplomacy.
Obviously, the elephant in the room is that the incumbent in this district is Duncan Hunter. He's facing charges of both corruption and fraud, numerous counts. What is your take on his current, I guess, legal situation, and what will you be doing in response to that?
Well, of course, his legal situation is troubling, but he's a fellow combat veteran. And as such, I believe he, as much as any other American, deserves due process and the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. So I'm in this race not running against Duncan Hunter. In fact, if he's found innocent on all 60 charges, I drop out of the race that day. If he's found guilty or otherwise, here I am running a good, solid race and an honorable one.
Larry Wilske, thank you so much for coming on with us. I'm sure we'll have you on as your campaign continues.
Great. Thanks very much.
Thank you much.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.